Final award that we want to give out for the midseason Coach of the Year, and I'm interested to get your take because a lot of interpretation could go into this personally.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm going Kyle Lindsey at Lures, and everybody will say why. They have plenty of talent over there. This is a team that went 0-9 last year in the regular season, had a lot of problems on and off the field. It was just a disaster of a first year for Kyle Lindsey at Lures. And for him to put the pieces back together, sit at 4-1, and like you mentioned, a 3A contender, my mind as well, a state contender at 4-1 in 3A. I mean, they couldn't even block last year at times, you know.
Or tackle.
Yeah, block. I mean, it was fundamentals. You know, you had drama there, and Kyle was just, you know, it couldn't have gone any worse. For him, I mean, it's just a complete 180 right now for them, right? And, you know, they dropped that early game to Snyder. But other than that, they've just been solid. And yes, there's elite talent there, but you got to coach that talent. You got to make sure it meshes well. And it didn't mesh well last year, but it's meshing well this year. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's doing their jobs, and I think that's huge. And that goes a lot on Kyle Lindsey's back. So he's my Coach of the Year right now. And
there are a lot of guys like Dippold. There are a lot of players that have made significant contributions that don't necessarily get recognized on a Friday night, but solid throughout as far as, you know, replacing 19 starters 2 years ago and having 19 starters back this season. You're right. Kyle Lindsey's done a fantastic job. I kind of went your DeKalb route.
All right.
I know you had them as the surprise team and certainly warranted. I went with Pete Kempf because I think he's come in. The hardest thing to do is change a culture, and I feel like he's gone a long way into doing that at DeKalb in a very short amount of time. I think these guys come out and expect to win on Fridays, and I think perhaps in years past they didn't. Right. And that's a huge psychological flip, and I feel like Pete Kempf, not only are they difficult from an X's and O's standpoint and from a matchup standpoint, but now they kind of have a little bit of their swagger back. I mean, this is a program with a lot of great history, and Pete Kempf has done a lot of job. Because he's a DeKalb grad, I think he's tapped into that and has done a good job of finding what these guys can do well and having them executed on Friday nights.
Yeah, the thing is, a first-year coach to come in and be a 3-2 right now against a very competitive conference is huge. You look at other first-year coaches, especially SAC. Jason Dorfler at Northrop just gets his first win. Roosevelt Norfleet really trying to build from the ground up at South. Those are multi-year building jobs. But at DeKalb, all of a sudden Pete Kempf comes in, and that team was at the bottom. You know, 0-10 seasons year after year. You know, they already have 3 wins this year. It's already their most since 2008. That tells you just the struggles that program has had in recent years. And for Pete to come in there and really, you know, elevate that program so quickly is really eye-opening to me.